Otherwise, I'll just go ahead.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Let's go ahead. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you that we could come together, and I pray that we would have a good meeting discussion about the upcoming winter camp, and I pray that everybody would uh, stay safe. You would be with those that are not able to be on today or had to pull out camp at the last minute. And just thank you for everybody that helps put that on each year. And I pray that uh, everyone would stay healthy this year at camp, and we would have a good time, and that we would all stay warm. In your name, amen.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
I'm just trying to find my email that I sent you guys. Walida Benson is trying to get in, and she can't find the phone number for some reason.
You sent it on Wednesday, I believe. Late Wednesday night.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see.
Roger, I'm here. Could you just give me the number? Because I'm on Gina's line.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So the phone number is 305
305
224.
Let me, you said who? 305
224 968.
Wait a minute. 68, I got the first last two.
1968.
1968. Okay.
And then the code is 878
878
4583
4583
0061.
Ooh, Lord, I'll be calling that number. 00. I'll be calling the 616 number. I think Kathy number, I think, or something they be sending me. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's not a 616 number for the chat.
Okay.
So let's see if that works for her. Okay. Well, again, welcome everybody. And let's go through who we have here. So we have I'm started. This list always jumps around on me when I'm trying to go through it. But we have Shirley Ketzenberger, Rockville, Indiana. Roll from Detroit. Jackie Bradley from Detroit. Muriel Walters from Battle Creek. Bill Chapman from Kalamazoo. David Sterneman from Lake Orion. I remembered. We have Sheila from Flint. We have Marion Ward from, what is it, south of Dearborn Heights.
Dearborn Heights.
Right.
Dearborn Heights.
Yep. Kashania Graham from Detroit. Kristen Brown from Mason City, Iowa. Rose Facilla from Muskegon, Michigan. Felicia Bradford, also from Flint. Janie Muirhead from Detroit. Who did I miss? Gina.
Selena Parker from Southfield, Michigan.
Selena Parker, Southfield, Michigan. All right, glad you're coming to camp this year. So, who all remembers Okay, somebody just coming in. We'll probably have more folks come in. Please identify yourself. You just came in.
Terry Bradley.
Gary. Okay. Since I'm by myself today, I'm doing all these things that Kathy usually helps me. So Carrie is here. We just got started, Carrie. And so if you remember, Kelsey, I don't know if she was actually on the call, but Kelsey, let's see, Kelsey Spencer, Kelsey Douglas Spencer.
I was in for what you guys had the last call, so.
So Kelsey is the she is the professor from Western Michigan that's going to be bringing the graduate students out to winter camp. And if some of you got it, and several of you had actually responded, she had a questionnaire about folks who are going to be at camp in terms of what, the nature of your blind condition. And I don't have it in front of me actually right now. Some of you more organized folks might, but she essentially, what she was hoping to do was learn a little bit more about your situations in terms of your blindness, and because what she wants to do is make sure that when you guys are out at camp, she has a better idea of how best that they can help you guys. And one of the things that is going to happen this time, which hasn't happened before, is that JJ Medaw is going to be coming to camp. A lot of you are familiar with JJ. He's he has a business over in Kalamazoo called I think it's called
AT Guys.
AT Guys, and I like JJ because he's very it's like he's very down to earth. He's not a real strong, he doesn't push things a lot, and the things that he has are basically things that most people can afford. There's a lot of equipment out there like Braille readers, different things that are like $3,000, $3,000, and glasses and things, and just out of the reach of most folks.
Right.
So anyway, that's why I like JJ, and he was free for the weekend of camp, and so he's going to come out with those guys, along with Bill. I think is going to ride over with Kelsey, and so she just sent me a note a little while ago. She was going to try to dial in with us today, but she's at home with a small child, and doesn't know if she will. But she's interested in, if you could think about what kind of information you'd like. Are there any kind of devices that you would like to see demonstrated at camp?
Yeah.
And you don't have to throw those out right now, but if you do, I could write them down for her. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a cold myself, so I probably sound a little nasally.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. With this weather changing back and forth, yeah.
Oh yeah. So here's what she wrote to me. So here's a couple of things she wrote to me. Let's see. She's going to talk to JJ about his ideas for presenting and demonstrating, but have some ideas of what to bring as well. So electronic magnification devices, handheld and wearable, like the Orcam, the MyEye, and Read, along with various colored tints for light sensitivity and contrast enhancement. She says, I'm curious if the group has an interest in any demonstrations on any particular devices. Are they interested in us showing or presenting anything specific? Maybe a new device on the market. This may help guide us a bit as to what to bring. We're definitely preparing for smartphone access and tech-specific questions. So I've told her that mostly a lot of people are interested in help with their phones.
Yeah.
How do you make the Android do this or that? So expect that they'll be ready for those kind of things. But Kelsey is very excited about this. If you recall, the person who has brought the grad students in the past, Dr. Elise Connor, and she is on sabbatical somewhere in Africa, I think, for 6 months. So Kelsey is coming in her place. And I told her the other day that I'd never had this much engagement with anyone from there as to what to do, when they came to camp. We just sort of say, hey, come to camp and do what you do, and it'll be great. And so she's been asking me a lot of questions that I don't really know how to answer. And so that's why she was interested in talking to you all. And if you guys have ideas,
That's good.
maybe we can talk about that for a minute. But I was actually gonna do a little bit of an icebreaker first and ask people what their favorite winter activity is. So while we're talking about that, you guys can think about devices that you might want to know about or learn about at camp when you come. So I'll start out. My favorite winter activity is staying inside. So
Right.
I think that's everybody's
That's what I was thinking.
That was, I
That's
think
what
that's
I was
everybody's
thinking.
favorite activity is to stay inside. Yeah.
I'm sure some of you like to be outside. So
My favorite activity is I like snowmobiling when it's not too cold.
okay. All righty. Kristen, what's your favorite activity?
This Terry Bradley. My favorite winter activity is crocheting. I like to sit right away from the door by the heater and crochet.
Okay.
I'm with you, Jerry. She do that all the time, Carrie.
You ain't gonna do that at home.
No, in the summertime, I sit outside on the porch and crochet. See, don't know me like that.
Yeah, that's the difference.
With a big coat on. So okay.
Mine
Now,
is
when
the
I was
regular
younger,
fire with
I
the
used to go
fireplace.
outside and
Okay.
make snowmen and have a snowball fight with my kids.
Okay, who is that, Jackie?
No, this Terry. When I was young, 20 years ago, I used to go outside snowball fight.
Right. Well, let's give
Have a
somebody else a
snowball
chance.
fight and make a snowman.
All right.
And this is Rosemary. I used to like to do downhill ski when I lived in Salt Lake and cross country skiing, but we don't do much of that because we don't have much snow anymore.
This is Felicia
Well, I
Brad.
tell New York to send you some.
No, thank you.
Okay, Felicia.
Right
Felicia,
now
go
we
ahead.
have enough here in Michigan. Thank you.
Yeah.
They just got 6 feet of snow. So they'll
Wow.
send you some.
All right. Let's go with Felicia.
I used to be mounted police, and I used to ride horses in the snow, and I love it.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cold, but
This
it's
is
fun.
Gina. This is Gina. When I was younger, sliding down a hill in the neighborhood, there's a big hill, and everybody would go, and we would use the lids for the garbage cans because not everybody had a sled,
There you
Like
go.
and that
sled.
was good.
Yeah.
Somebody just joined. Who just joined us?
Renee.
Oh, Renee. Okay. Oh, you're
So,
okay.
Renee.
I think your name is on here somewhere. But
Hi,
somebody
Renee.
just joined. Are you on a phone, Renee? Or on
Yes,
your-
I'm on the phone.
Okay, okay, great. Because I saw your name pop up a minute ago, but then okay, all righty.
This is
that was-
Rosemary. When I was a kid, and we lived in Brooklyn. Our favorite thing to do was to build a snow fort at the beginning of our street because we lived on a one-way street, so that we could play in the street till the snowplow came and tore it down.
I told you we gonna send to New York for you some snow, Rosemary.
Yeah, I'm originally from New York. That's why when you said snow, New York send me snow, I said no, thank you.
Okay, so
My
somebody else.
favorite,
Hey, Marion.
this is Marion Ward. My favorite is cooking and crocheting.
Yay.
Nice.
Kathy just sent me a text. It's 46 degrees in Texas.
Go
Oh,
away.
that's
I
cold.
believe it.
Wow.
I believe it.
Cold, cold, cold.
It's kind of chilly down there.
That'd be a heat
Oh, well,
wave
it's
over
warmer.
here.
I mean, it's colder here, so, but, you know.
Yeah.
That's cold for
Right.
Texas.
So Jackie,
Hey,
you're
Roger.
talking. You're talking. Why don't you tell us your favorite winter activity, Jackie?
Oh wow. Well, I used to like sledding when I was younger. Staying in the house, staying warm, and watching movies. That's what I did all last night. Watch movies till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
Right.
Yes, I did. I couldn't go to sleep.
So Renee, what's your favorite activity in the winter?
I guess I don't really have one now, but when I was a kid, it was always sledding until you got tired and cold, and then coming in and having hot chocolate.
There you go. It's the hot chocolate. That's the thing.
Might have to go make me a cup of hot chocolate right now, y'all.
Okay.
That's good.
Janie, how about
Some
you?
marshmallows.
How about you, Janie?
I don't have. Well, I don't really have no favorite. I just, like staying in the house, keeping warm,
Yeah.
talking on the phone, which I do all the time anyway.
Okay. Who haven't we heard from yet? Let's see.
Eli.
Bill. How about Bill? Is he still on? Bill, you're on still. So what's your
Yeah,
favorite activity, Bill?
I like snowmobiling and then like a little mini hill tobogganing with someone.
Okay.
It's fun. Yeah.
What was that?
That was Bill Chapman. Let's see who else.
Okay.
This is Walita. I like to be in the house. I'm a music person. And I've been watching a lot of TV too. Because I'm a winter baby. I don't want to go outside. It's cold.
That's right.
So I'd rather listen to music and plan something to do. Something to do on the inside.
Great. So, Walita, you're on with Gina then, right? You're connected through Gina.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Bill, is Willie coming this year?
I haven't had a chance to talk to Willie. I've been trying to find him. I'm gonna catch him. Hopefully he'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, we missed him with piano playing. Oh man.
Keyboard. He's good.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Keyboard. That's what I was gonna say. Oh, I enjoyed him when he was there.
Yeah, I would love to get him back to camp. I think
Well, he's coming. He said Roger's going to lead a solo, so I think he's coming.
All right.
Good job.
You know what
Good
that?
job.
What about the other one that was there last year? What's his name? Reverend Holly.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we'll get to
Was
that.
it
in a minute.
Holly?
Bobby Holly.
Can't mute it.
Yeah, we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
So let's see. Did we hear from everybody on this winter activity thing?
No.
Okay, so Shirley.
Well, just to let you know, it's 6 degrees over here, so.
6 degrees. It's warmer up here. It's in the 20s up here in Michigan.
I know. Don't
sure
rub
is.
it in. Don't rub it in. Anyway, I used to love to ski and then ride snowmobiles and whatever else I could do outside. Throwing snowballs at people. Well,
There you go.
but I can't do that anymore. I have a low tolerance of cold now.
I'm getting that way too. My hands just get freezing cold.
Yep, that's me.
Even with gloves on, it's like that's been kind of a new thing for me, and I don't know if it's circulation or what's going on, but it's not very nice.
That's why I have hand warmers with me all the time.
Yeah, I think I might have to start doing that. So
Okay, Roger, I'll go. This is Kashana.
Okay, Kashana, yeah.
I can't. We did what Gina did. We when we were little, we made a sled out of the top of the garbage can and went down the hill. And also, me and my brothers, that was a time for us to make money by shoveling the old people's snow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I did that too.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day.
So
Now, Kashana, please remember when them kids come around and offer to shovel your snow, you owe it to them.
That's what I do too. I try to catch somebody coming past. If they do it, I do.
When I was a kid, we used to get car hoods. We'd find old junk cars and we'd take the hoods off of them.
Oh,
We'd hook them up behind like a pickup truck or a tractor or something and go riding around on the back roads. And
oh,
Wow.
I tell you what, it was pretty dangerous actually. It's
I was finna say.
because
What did you do with those? What did you do with those stolen hoods afterwards?
Well-
You were delinquent, weren't you?
well, they actually Bill,
Oh wow! My
My
uncle had
dad-
some hoods stolen.
Bill, you would appreciate this. You would appreciate this because you like old cars. My neighbor, they never jumped out any of their old vehicles. So in their vehicles, they had all these like 1930 something pickup trucks and of course we didn't have an appreciation for restoring any of that kind of stuff. But so we'd take the V-shaped hoods off of them and they worked really good as sleds. And they had big sides. They had big sides on them, so you could kind of get down inside of it a little bit, you know. But
Wow.
if the person pulling the sled got going a little too fast, you know, it was sort of like the tail of a dog, you know, whip it back and forth, you know.
Ooh, no. Ooh, sounds scary.
I'm sure all of you did things that you would just shudder at your children's kids doing now, or your
Mm-hmm.
Kids
Like,
nowadays,
this
they
is
don't know that.
scary. What we used to do is we used to take the snow shovels up to the park, and we would shovel all the snow into a great big pile in front of the swings, and we would swing and jump out the swings into the
Oh
snow.
my gosh.
Oh wow,
my
that sounds
dad's
fun.
cousin, he
That's
would pull
fun.
around behind the snowmobile, in a, sled.
So speaking of outdoor activities,
That's good too.
so I have spoken to the guy that is the snowmobile club chairperson, and he's excited about winter camp, and so we will either have snowmobiles or we will have the side by side that we had last year, and maybe two of those.
Okay.
Those are the four wheelers with like a cab on it, you know, and to go racing around the trails there at the winter camp. So
Oh wow.
now if it
That was
warms
fun.
up, you know, the funny thing is they say, yeah, it's going to warm up in the next 2 weeks. So we'll see what kind of snow we have actually when it comes to winter camp, you know?
Yeah.
And actually maybe that warming up is not a bad thing because I know many of you got a little cold last year. Friday night. The heat was
A little cold.
The women's dorm.
That's what I was gonna say, a little cold.
And
A little cold.
A whole lot of cold.
I know that they said by Friday it was supposed to be up to 40, so.
yeah. So our friend
Ooh.
Matthew has assured me that the heaters will be working. And
That's good.
That's good.
so we'll look forward to that. But
You got to have the Clydesdales. Are you going to have the Clydesdales?
yeah, well, they're not Clydesdales, but they are draft horses. I think it's a different
Horses, yep.
it's a different version of a draft horse, but yeah, the same guy that was here last year with the horses for the wagon, he's coming back, and and actually that's a pretty interesting. He works at a place called Tillers International, and it's just south of Scotts, Michigan, which is between Battle Creek and Kalamazoo.
Okay.
And they work with all kinds of like animals, and like they have oxen, and they have donkeys, and they have these draft horses, and they do like farm work with all these animals. But the cool thing that they do is they invent agricultural equipment that can be used in third world countries
Oh wow.
where they don't have the ability to have tractors or can't afford a tractor, and so they might have a donkey or something that or you know, a mule or something like that they can pull these things with, and it's all stuff that they can make with things they can find. So it's all made out of rebar, and sheet metal, scrap sheet metal. So they find all these cast off things that they can make into equipment, and they have a little museum out there where you can see all this stuff. And they send somebody. They work on these prototypes, and then they send people over to Africa, and then they teach people how to build this stuff so that they can do their farmland. So it's pretty interesting. Anyway, so he was
Yeah.
excited. He loved doing it last year, and we've got a couple of new volunteers through that. Mine came out to help him with the horses, and then I think his wife is going to come out this year to just like help inside doing things. So, it's always good to get new volunteers for winter camp.
Roger, there's some background noises coming through because I couldn't understand you. Sorry.
Yeah, somebody's breathing heavy, I think, maybe. Dorothy, by the way, Dorothy said hi. My wife.
Hello.
Hi.
Said
hi.
Say hi.
She's
Hi,
going.
Dorothy.
She's taking the dog for a walk. So. Okay.
Roger, that's your job.
What's that? Taking the dog for a walk?
Yes,
She
that's
does
your
it.
job.
Well, I could do it now. I couldn't do it for a long time, but she does it all the time, and sometimes I go with her. So.
I'm messing with you, Roger. I'm just teasing with you.
But yeah, that's her. I mean, that's she goes whether it's 6 degrees or 2 degrees or -2 degrees. You know.
I
She's like the
couldn't do that last
She's
week.
like the mailman. She's like the mailman. You know, it's like it's you know, nothing stops her.
Well, that's all right. Being
Roger,
that I
you see
have
the
my
nurse this
dog,
year?
yeah, my guide dog, I have to take him out in all kinds of weather. So I have different coats for different
Oh, yeah.
weather.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've got one that's a really warm one for when it gets like single digit below 0. And he also has little boots that if it gets too cold, I put his
Oh, I
little
know. I've
boots
seen
on
those
him
boots.
too.
I've seen those boots on. Well, let's talk about winter camp, and then we'll get to the devices in a minute. We've been thinking about that. So
Roger,
right
is
now,
your wife going to be the nurse this year?
yes, she is.
Okay, good.
And she's hoping to get one of our Lions Club members to help her out, but we're not sure.
Okay,
But
good.
we'll probably have. She's a retired nurse, and so she doesn't exactly know what it's all about, but she's going to come out and see, and then hopefully she can give Dorothy a hand if we need it. So.
Very good.
So.
All right. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh no, it's okay. So so let's start out. So right now we have right around. Well, let's see. We had a couple drop out, so we're at about 47 campers right now.
Oh, that's more than last year.
Wow.
We
excuse, Roger,
yes,
excuse me. This is Shirley. Did you get my app?
I got it today.
Okay, thank you.
So yes, so we have 30. We are like pretty much at capacity for the women's side.
Ooh.
Wow.
We are running about probably 35 or 36 on the women's side. Some of those, well, one of them was a volunteer, so we'll have. So hopefully, I know Sheila or Shirley and Rosemarie sometimes take a top bunk, but if we get many more signed up, we may have to be seeing who can use a top bunk, because we're getting close to having right at the number of bunks. So
Okay, Roger, this is Marion Ward. I can use the top bunk as well.
okay, all right. So we'll have to sort that out as we get closer, to see what's happening. But we're pretty much at capacity. So if we had more people coming in, we'd have to kind of say, well, we'll have to look at it. Now there's lots of room on the men's side. So we've got about 15 on the men's side. So
Okay.
Roger, in the women's dorm, are we going to be able to use that upper floor that they used to call the loft?
the loft, yeah. If you can, I don't see a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it. You know, for a while we couldn't use those areas because they didn't meet fire code. But they got all that fixed last 2 years ago, and so they got a bunch of money from the Kellogg Foundation, and so they did a lot of work, and they've actually done a lot of work on the camp itself. They repaved the whole driveway this year, so it'll be much easier to shovel, and it'll be easier to navigate probably back and forth to the dorms. Because the camp itself has been in existence for 90 years. And they had a 90th anniversary party for the camp.
I'm on the Zoom. I can get one of them sausages. Hello, I'm on the Zoom call. I'm just asking about the sausage. Yeah.
Bill, were you just talking, or were you talking to us or somebody else?
Talking to somebody else.
Okay. Anyway, so the camp is we actually went out in the fall and did some painting, and they've got a new set of stairs that we it's like an escape for the lodge, fire escape for the lodge. That was a new set of stairs that we painted. So our Lions clubs around in the area here go out in November and help them rake leaves and do a bunch of cleanup work. So that's become a nice project for us, for the folks in our area here. So yeah, it's you know, we're going to have a nice crowd this year, and I'm assured that the heating system in the women's site is going to be working. And
oh yeah,
very good.
It was kind of cold.
So I'll be talking to them as we get closer to the camp just to make sure. But you know, as long as we don't have an Arctic blast, we should be okay, I think. So let's talk about some of the activities. Somebody asked about Bobby Holly. So Bobby Holly is he's coming out again this year, and he was really excited to do that.
He was fun.
He said, I'm just gonna love singing to all my friends. So
oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
So hopefully some of you guys will start practicing for the talent show and get up and sing with him like you did last year. So I remember a few of you were. And
stop looking at me, y'all. Stop looking at me.
Well, you know what, you were feeling pretty good that Friday night. You weren't feeling so good that Saturday night. But
I know I wasn't, but I'm in good health this time.
So we were.
Good for you, Janie.
I'm gonna get with you.
Good for you.
So anyway, so as far as so a couple of things going on with activities. So we're going to do, so Kathy is going to come out in the afternoon and do some craft projects with beads. And then we also have a service project that Gina has put together. And Gina, you want to talk about that?
Sure. The service project is for knotted blankets, tie blankets, some people like to call them, and we're trying to do 10, and they'll be placed around the camp strategically, you know, the main area, so that if everybody's sitting in the by the fireplace talking, you can be knotting blankets at the same time to keep it flowing, so we wouldn't take up so much time for the during craft. So I and Peggy Allen are hoping to. Well, Peggy Allen is the one who is bringing the material and feels that 10 blankets we should be able to do over the 2.5 days that we'll be there. So these blankets are going to Wigs for Kids. So that's a great project. B. Furman had came up with this idea, and I think it's good. I like the knotted blankets, and they should be good. We're also doing smaller blankets that were supposed to be for guide dogs, but we found out along the way that they're not too conducive for the guide dog. So we may be able to find I'm sure we'll be able to find a children's hospital to donate the blankets. So there'll be smaller blankets and the bigger blankets, both knotted projects going around. So I think it's 8 of the smaller ones and 10 of the bigger ones. So just something to keep busy during the, we're waiting to eat or waiting to, go to the next event.
Hey, Gina.
Activity.
I know
Gina.
Bill.
Yes.
This is Shirley. If you need my help, just let me know.
Yeah, we would like everyone's help.
No,
You
I
could
was
be
just-
a
I
lion
just-
for the day or for the weekend, just to just sit around and nod it, and we'll help to explain the process. So
Right. Well, I've done that before, so.
Okay.
Gina, this is
That's good.
Rosemary. I've done it before
Yeah.
too at some of the international conventions for the Lions, so I would be willing to help too.
I think it's something that most everybody can help with. So,
Yeah.
if you get tired of playing it, if you get tired of playing bingo or, that sort of thing, you can go do that. So we'll have some things like that. So okay, that's one of thank you, Gina. Now I was interested
You're
in
welcome.
the fact that they're not conducive to the guide dogs, because if we had this conversation a couple of meetings ago, and I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name that was on the phone with us, didn't want to bring a blanket.
Dan Bassett?
No,
I think it was Anthony Ward.
Anthony, right? Anthony.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Anthony Ward. Yeah.
Well, Roger,
true.
last year I brought a blanket for Scuba, but he kept shoving it under the bed, so it really wasn't helpful. And so this year I'm just going to bring him a dog bed.
Oh, okay.
So
Because I
let
know
me
that-
ask this question. So, I'm sorry.
Go
Just
ahead.
originally, they were going to go for leader dogs, and then leader dogs said they can't use them because their dogs tend to chew on them and create choke hazards. So, a few of the other guide dog owners had agreed. So, I guess just if you're not obviously watching or just being attentive to your dog, this could happen, So to alleviate all of that, we're just going a different route, basically.
Thank you for explaining that, because I was curious about it, because I knew that somebody mentioned that had been a project for Leader Dog at some point in time to make blankets for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know Bill, you were looking into that for a group over in Kalamazoo that a knitting.
Yeah, I got matter of fact, my wife her quarters group made dog not the blankets, the bed for the dogs to lay on. They used parts of their quilt, what they call quilt pieces or whatever, as insulation. They built those, and it's like if you can picture like a beanbag sort of, but it's all cloth. It's all not sewing material, but sewing remnants from their quilts. And matter of fact, she completed one last week, and I gave it to one of my blind friends who had a dog, and their dog loved it. And she took pictures of the dog laying on top of the bag or whatever. And it was a bed, it's a cushion like or whatever. And I got that idea from the young man who indicated that he needed one coming to the winter camp. And I think she's gonna donate two to the winter camp, whoever, however you want to set it up. So those are already done to be donated to the winter camp, and however you want to use them. Okay.
Bill, this is Rosemary, and I've always used an old quilt for my dog especially when I've been up at summer camp. I just lay it out and he's happy with it. So I think the quilt is a better alternative than the blanket.
Right. Okay. All right.
So we'll see what that looks like when you bring it, Bill. I know you're going to bring it.
I'll be bringing it with Western students. That's why instead of catching a train with dog beds in it, I decided to just ride with the Western students. Right. I got two I'm bringing.
So Bill, I have a question for you. Are you staying the night Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be staying the night. I sent you a text today this morning.
Okay. All right. Okay, great.
Not in the barn, but I would be in the men's room. So.
Yeah, right. It depends on if you make trouble or not, Bill.
Roger, can I say another thing?
You sure can.
Before you move on. Okay, so our ongoing service project is to collect eyeglasses. So if you have eyeglasses or know anyone that has any cases as well, because there is a new project that Jesse and I have been talking about with making the cases into like personal care kits. So if you have cases with no eyeglasses, eyeglasses with no cases, bring them to camp. We'll be happy to continue this service project and collecting, because thus far we've collected 85 eyeglasses and 45 cases since November. So I just finished separating what we have and getting ready to ship them off to, you know what, I should bring
Tina, does that account for
sunglasses? Yeah, we'll take sunglasses too.
Hey, Gina. This is David.
Yes.
Should I not worry about that, or should I bring the glasses that I've collected so far from church, or?
Yeah. Bring them along too. That'll be great. So that's all I have.
Great. So yeah,
Right.
if you've got
What
eyeglasses.
exactly do you do with the used glasses?
So the eyeglasses will be, I have to move them to, there's a collection center in Grand Rapids that separates and cleans them, and then they're going to be shipped over to areas where people can use them, can't otherwise get the eyeglasses or be able to, and need them, that can use them.
They can change them and put new prescriptions in them for people, because some people can't afford the frames. So they can take those frames and they can put new prescriptions in them for people. Just like with the hearing aids, you know, some of our Lions Club take old hearing aids and donate those to people that can't use them. So they take hearing aids in as well.
Yep. So so Gina, instead of shipping, you know,
I'm bringing them.
We're going to have folks from Grand Rapids that are coming to bring some of the campers from Grand Rapids.
Perfect.
And we could have just have them take them back, you know, because they're familiar with you know, with those folks, and and so that would save you a lot of money shipping probably. So.
Well, that's great, because I just thought about that just now, because I just separated them, but someone on Facebook told me that I could ship them for free as well. So going forward, but I will bring what I have up until, you know, what I've collected up to winter camp. So that's even better. So it'll be more, I'm sure. So that's great.
All righty. Okay, so then we're going to have bingo, as always. I'm sure everybody wants to have bingo, right? I mean, unless you guys want it.
Yeah.
The Bedford folks, I've been talking to them, and they're all set. I know we've got some clubs, Lions clubs in the area collecting bingo prizes, and so I think I also put in the application. You know, I've been talking to Marion about this over time, but we'll have a raffle, and so campers were asked to bring a gift. You know, not an expensive thing, but we'll have a raffle that we'll raffle those off over the weekend, and
at least 2 gifts, a man and a woman's gift, at least 2. If you want to do 4, that's up to you, but at least 2.
Or unisex.
Pardon?
Or a unisex gift.
Yeah, unisex, right.
So you want everybody to bring 2 gifts, right?
Yes, at least, yeah, at least 2.
Okay.
Do you want it wrapped or unwrapped?
Unwrapped.
Unwrapped.
Good to know what you're raffling off.
Yeah.
So there's going to be well over 100 gifts, is what you're saying. Prizes with 40. Oh, wow.
No. Well, see, what we're going to do, what I did last year was this. We do
I'm
a
gonna bring
few
50 all men gifts. Are you been?
No, well, I'm just saying for unisex gifts. Okay, wait a minute, Bill.
And the
You
women
been?
can give men for Valentine's Day. How about that?
There we go.
Okay.
So you say
Okay.
you should say man or woman. You just say gifts. And hey, all right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, unisex gifts, like whoever said it. But what I'm saying, we can do a few, like we did last year, to make it easy. What we did a few on Friday, and all day Saturday and Sunday between breakfast, lunch, and dinner in between. Because Sunday, everybody in a rush to go, so we can do like we did last year, all day Saturday. You know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or whatever.
That worked pretty well.
Yeah, that worked.
That's how we did it last year. We had a nice array of gifts last year. Now everybody in agreement with that? All day Saturday.
Yep, Friday and Saturday
For me.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's too much. It takes too much time if you do it all at once. So.
Exactly. So that's why I suggest do it all day Saturday and on Friday night. A few on Friday night.
So you don't have to play bingo to get the prizes, do you?
No, this is like raffle for the.
I was thinking bingo for 2 days. I go, oh, okay.
Like door prizes.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got
like
you.
door prizes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, I'm doing the Valentine's Day raffle again this year, so everybody bring your dollars.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's taking April's place.
And we hope we
April
don't
used to
lose
do
the
that,
numbers
too.
like we did last year, right? Did we lose some numbers?
Right.
Right.
Okay. All right, Carrie. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we have to buy gifts, is there a price limit?
No. No. I wouldn't be doing an expensive gift. If you're gonna do a gift, I wouldn't go over $10 if you do that.
Okay.
Okay. I wouldn't go for
Okay.
$10.
I would
So-
say around $5 should be enough because 2 of them will make 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
I would say
exactly,
Don't
but
spend a
I'm
lot of
saying
money.
Yeah, so that's good. You can go to Five
Right,
Below.
I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, you can
Ain't
find
Five
some
Below
nice,
no more.
They got
can
plenty of
find-
stuff.
you can
I
find
don't
some
really-
nice gifts for $5, so you really can.
Miriam, I don't remember the raffle. What he just raffle all stuff, or do we have? I don't remember. How does that go?
No, what he do, he put your name in a bag or a box or something, he'll pull a name out, and then he'll tell you
They get a
what they
prize.
have, and then he'll pull your name out, and you can win the prize.
Okay.
You don't have to buy any. You don't have to buy
Doesn't cost
anything.
anything. It's just door prizes.
Just a door prize.
Exactly. It
you know,
doesn't
kind of-
cost you anything.
Right. I have names. I have everybody's names on a sheet of paper, and so we pull a name out of a hat, and then we will also do another camper ship raffle, and that'll be we'll put everybody's name back in the hat for that one.
Right, I remember that. Okay.
And so we'll do that. And this year, let's see, Shirley, she won last year. So Shirley had the camper ship for this year. Okay, let's see. So now we're gonna have Mike Gino is coming, and he's gonna bring a couple of computers like he usually does, and he's gonna set those up, I think, in the snake room, and he'll have them set up so people can try them out or play a game or something like that. And last year he I don't know, they had something going on with old time radio. They were playing some radio shows or something. People were listening. I know there was a few folks in there during that. We also have a lady that's she was our past district governor. She was our district governor last year, and she is going to do like a session on meditation.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be
Okay.
like her name is Kelly Luby. She was at
Mhm.
Cape last year, and she's going to be with us for the weekend. Kelly's a lot of fun. She's a pretty lively person, but and she also does. She's sort of a mystic, I guess, is what I would say. But anyway, so she's going to do a session on meditation. So that'll be like a 30-minute session probably. But anyway, she'll be talking to you about how to meditate so you can relieve stress those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be going on at some point in time. We haven't got the schedule all made out yet, but we'll get to that. We'll have cane repair again.
I'm just gonna ask about that.
Now the question that so I see Teresa Guest quite a bit. She does that, and she said she gave out a lot of new canes last year, and so she's basically looking at repair parts and pieces, but she wasn't sure if people were in need of new canes or not. If you are, if anybody on here is, then I can talk to her and she could probably arrange to get something. But what she likes to do, instead of if a person needs a new cane, she would like to make sure that she knows exactly what your size is, because she could order a bunch of random cane sizes, but then they might not fit a person. So those of you who use canes,
are they collapsible canes?
Can appreciate that.
Are they collapsible?
Well,
people that travel a whole lot, they really go through canes, like I do. I go a lot of different places, and I have a cane that I would like her to repair. It has a ball on the bottom, and I use it when I go to places that I don't know, like my first time, because it's easier for me to use a cane with a ball on the bottom. But if I'm going somewhere that I know well, I can use my I forgot what that cylinder head cane. I can use that. Yeah, because she gave me one last year, and it's really working for me. But I would like to have more than one, because in the wintertime, that elastic can break.
Yep.
She gave me one too, but mine is too tall. It's too tall for me.
All canes is too tall for you.
Well, that's the thing that if you need a new cane, I think what she would like to do is measure you, and so that she can get a cane that's going to fit correctly. So so she'll be definitely ready to repair canes, and if she has canes available, she'll bring them, I'm sure. But if she has one that doesn't fit you, then she'll probably do your measurements and then make sure she gets you one that will fit. And we can make sure we
get. Put down 24 inches for Janie Muirhead.
Come on now, be nice. Be nice.
Look, put 22 inches down for me. My cane was too tall too. That she gave me.
This is Sheila. Roger.
Yes.
Are they foldable or collapsible canes, or it's just a straight?
Yes.
Well,
they're foldable.
It depends on what she orders. I mean, it's not, she has to buy them. And so, I mean, obviously the collapsible ones are the popular ones to have. But, so if you need one, let me know.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
But yeah, she can get anything. It's just a matter of knowing what to get. So that's where she'd rather know what she's going to get and spend the money on the right thing rather than just buy some random ones and they not fit like what you're talking about, because I think she bought a bunch of new canes last year, and so that's probably why you got a cane, but maybe it wasn't the right size for you. So that's one of the things that she has been looking at since last year. But she's been doing this.
This is Terry Bradley. Roger, I thought she got those from a grant. I didn't know she was purchasing her. So that is so sweet. That's truly sweet.
Well, actually, the Lions Club pays for it.
Sweet. You really need to say thank you to her.
So Carrie, where that money comes from is a fund that we have in our district, our Lions Club district, called Site Conservation. And so because the funds don't get used a lot, we started using funds out of that to purchase the white cane repair supplies. So it's actually not coming out of her pocket, but certainly her time and expertise is being donated by her to do that. So, and
right, I thank you for that.
You really enjoy
them canes start at $40, the really good ones. Oh, yeah. Like she gave me, they start at $40.
So
one time they sent me one, and I got it in the mail.
Oh yeah,
because she didn't have my right size there, so she sent it directly to my house. And we saw something on the front porch, and my daughter said, "What is that?" It was in a bag, but they didn't know what it was till she brought it in the house and couldn't find out it was a brand new cane.
Well, that's what she would do. She would ship them to you. So okay. So let's see. Outdoors. Let's see what else inside. So we'll have a Vesper service on Saturday. Saturday afternoon usually is when that happens. Probably around 3:30ish, something like that. Maybe we'll see what time that works out. And I think David and Mike and Art Turner will be sort of responsible for putting that together. Tyrone is coming. Most of you might know that. I've talked to Tyrone. He's coming, and he's bringing his equipment so he can entertain us and be our master of ceremonies along with Marion for the talent show on Saturday night. Let's see. Outside, we're going to have 2 bird cabin hikes. Last year, people were, they were sad because maybe they didn't get to go on a bird cabin hike. So they're going to offer one in the morning and maybe one early afternoon. So we'll see how that all works out. But they're prepared to do that. We're going to have snowshoeing. So we're getting the snowshoes. So if you'd like to go snowshoeing, that'll be available.
I don't even know what that is.
Snowshoeing. Okay, so snowshoeing. It's a. So some of you may have done cross country skiing out at camp. Out at camp. So those are skis that you kind of walk in. Okay. Well, they stopped doing that because the equipment they had was in really bad shape, and they didn't really have the money to buy new stuff. So what we started doing is snowshoes, which are like
They're just like big flat shoes.
Big flat shoes that float on top of the snow. And
I've done that once before at winter camp a long time ago. We did that.
Yep. And actually, Gina did that. Gina and
long time.
Did that about 3 years ago.
I'd like to do it again, but last year you did it, but we couldn't do it because we were at the Lions thing.
Right.
So.
I did it last year.
I ain't doing that. Y'all good.
So anyway, so that's a fun activity. I mean, it's kind of, it's a good way to exercise. So that's going to be available. Okay. So now this year we'll have a more open afternoon because last year, if you recall, we had the charter meeting for the Clear Lake Virtual Lions in the afternoon, which took up a lot of time. So this year we don't have a meeting like that, so we're going to be open so you can have fun all afternoon. Anyway, so the camp is excited about us coming out. We do have the cadets coming, the associates from the Job Challenge group, and the 2 supervisors that they had, Larry Getman and Jenny Stoll. They were here last year, and so they're excited about coming, and so that should be a good time. So there will be plenty of help, getting your luggage and doing all those things. We got Lions groups coming out to help people off the train and back on the train, and school buses all arranged to get from Battle Creek and out to the camp. And Felicia, we have a guy that's going to pick you up on Saturday morning at the train station, and so you're all taken care of to get there. So I'm sure you'll be happy to know that coming from Flint is kind of an early connection. You have to get up in the morning early, and then you get to Battle Creek and like at 10 o'clock, something like that. So anyway, so that'll be
and
good.
leave back out late.
Well, for you guys, yeah, it's like 7:30 or something like that. The crew going to Detroit, they leave at like 11 o'clock. So those folks have to get up early and get packed and be ready to take off for the train station. Let me get to the question I had at the beginning of the call. This was about technology. Okay, so again, the Kelsey Douglas Spencer is interested in knowing what kind of devices or technology that you would be interested in learning about or seeing demonstrated. So if you've had a chance to think about that, and you're coming, maybe you can just kind of tell me what your thoughts are. And I will tell you that they do have some access to some Orcam type glasses. Okay, and Orcam is it looks like a goggle, like a goggle that you would wear, and it has like a camera in it, and it can do a lot of different things. And some of these things require some level of vision. But again, I'm not that familiar with all of them. So anyway, if you have thoughts, if it's your phones that you'd like help with, if I could go ahead and shout it out.
Roger, there's a difference, the compatibility between your iPhone versus the other phones, because your iPhone is most compatible. What's the difference between the iPhone 7 versus the iPhone 15 and the capabilities? There are some limitations with those phones, and I'm sure they'll be able to address that. And the other, if you don't have a iPhone, what's the other phone?
Android.
Android. There's Android, and some things with Android is not compatible with the iPhones, and those are a lot of questions. The advantage for us, as part of being blind, they say the iPhone is more compatible than the Android. So why?
That's a lot of things,
And
yeah.
those are questions that I'm sure they can answer.
Right.
And the Orcam would be interesting for people because even though you don't see, it tells you what it sees.
That's what I.
Because I've
Well, the Orcam glasses are like $3,500.
Yeah, they're expensive, but I'm just saying that
Right.
that's
I've seen those
they
at the
do.
NFB State Convention, and I think that would be something great for everybody to have experience with, because they let you try them on and they work. But I'm more interested in the machines that use the Braille displays, Roger, if they could get a couple of those.
Oh, like the Braille displays or the e-readers.
Yeah.
Especially the
Not-
e-readers at the library has
Not exactly the e-reader, but they have these other machines. Like, for instance, I have a PacMate, and there are newer models of different things out that come with a display, and some of them don't even have a display. It's like the PacMate, the Omni, and I would like to see some of those.
Okay, I can talk to them and see if they have something like that. Maybe JJ's got some things like that he can bring out and demonstrate.
And the speakers, JJ also has speakers that are compatible with Android and with iPhone. So I think people would like to see those, and they are marked where they're very easy to use if you cannot see. The controls are marked much better than on the speakers that you can just buy in a regular store.
Right. I bought a battery from him. One of these batteries that you can charge up and then have with you when your phone is getting low and you're not anywhere near an outlet. And it's it's pretty
That would
interesting.
be something cool for me to have.
It was pretty interesting. You can get different sizes and different capacities, but they have Braille. They have some dots and things that and they make different sounds to tell you what's going on with them. So it's kind of an interesting thing to have, and it's very useful actually too, because not always my new iPhone 15 seems to run out of battery pretty quick. Seems like so.
Right. But at the NFB convention, they also had toys like cars and trucks that had Braille on the cars and trucks. So, I mean, for our grandkids or whatever, I don't know if he has any more of those, but those were great.
Okay.
Now, will they be selling those, or will we have to order those? Should we bring a larger wallet?
Yeah, I think you should, because I would like to buy one of those battery chargers. If he brings it with him, I would like to buy it right then and there.
I can let him know. I mean, there's.
Didn't know how much they cost. Shoot.
If you need it, you need it.
Well,
I'd like to see some of those myself, and I know that I'm looking at one of the chargers that And they run, I think they run anywhere from like $45 to $95 or something like that, depending on how big and how much, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So JJ can
Exactly.
share all that
I bought a
information.
speaker from him, and I love it. He had to order it because he only had the model there, but I love it.
I'm sure that if you see something that you like, he can get it to you. You know, he can order it for you and have it shipped to your house.
Correct.
That's what I would recommend, you know, because obviously he's not going to bring his whole store. He's not going to bring his whole store along. But
Right.
No,
Some
not
things
hardly.
like battery chargers and stuff like that, he probably could bring with him because they're not that big.
Right.
Well, but it's up to him how he wants to handle things. It's his business.
I'll
So
be talking to he and Kelsey about what they plan to do. And this was just more or less to get some ideas from you guys as to, you know, what you'd be interested to see. So I've got
but if anybody has some information on the e-reader that the library's distributed from that's made by Humanware, that would be a good thing too, because a lot of us have had issues with those.
so an e-reader is that like a scanner?
Well, no, it's a braille
Braille
device,
display.
and
It reads Braille.
the braille display, exactly.
Okay, so it reads a braille display.
No,
the Braille comes up on the display, and it's a book that you have downloaded from the library, and you can actually read the book while you're sitting there on the bus, train, car.
Yeah, exactly.
Wherever.
Oh, I see.
And you can make notes with it and things of that nature.
Oh.
But there was this machine. I don't know what the name of it was, but it was a machine at NFB convention. I think everybody probably would like to look at it. It was a video game that actually had Braille come up on the screen, and it tested. It was to teach you Braille, and it was a game. And they use it for. You know what I'm talking about?
The Poly, yes, it was testing you. It was called the Poly, Polly.
But it wasn't available, it's just in the testing phase, right?
I don't know about the testing
no,
phase,
that
but it
was-
was there.
yes,
and
they don't have it in
down
the-
with it, and it was great. It was great.
They don't
It was
have them in
great.
the US yet, but they have been approved. They just are not in stock yet. API, or APH is the one. American
Okay.
Publishing House is the one that sells it, but it's called the Poly. If he has a sample of it, would be great. Was it? Well, I think if you put in the information, it talked back to you. Am I correct? That was at the NFB state.
No, this
Conference in
machine had
November?
a display, and it was like a game. It put down letters, and you had to type the letters in on a Braille writer keyboard. You type the letter in, and it goes faster and faster and faster.
That was the Poly, yes.
Okay.
If you tell them the Poly.
Okay, great. So
And Felicia.
anybody else have a thought?
Felicia.
Because I'm gonna do it. We're approaching 2:20, and we
Oh,
usually
wow.
want to be done by about 2:30. So I also wanted to give Rosemarie a chance to talk about a study that she's been participating in. So I got this Poly thing written down. I'll look it up and then I'll put that in the notes.
Maybe just some stuff with different apps on the phone, or that's all I can really think about.
So different apps
Yeah.
for the phone. Okay. Okay.
Because I've been working on using VoiceOver a little more on my phone recently.
All right. Anybody else before we move?
Roger, I asked Jesse, and he said he's having issues with like the Apple speech to text.
Okay.
So like
Oh,
maybe
that
just
sounds-
even some of those texting ones for the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I have issues with it.
Well, I know that speech to text. I mean, I know a lot of.
Siri gets words wrong anyway, so it's,
Yeah.
I don't know for that.
I can't even
Well,
text.
one of the things on the if people haven't done it yet is the Be My Eyes AI, and that's an interesting part of their app to check out, because it takes a picture of something and then it describes it to you, and then there's like a a chat that you can use to ask it to do more information, or if you need to take another picture. It's different, but interesting.
So that's part of Be My Eyes. That's
Correct.
That's
It's
the app
it's a
where,
new thing that they have.
now that's the one where they've got the folks that are volunteers that
Yes.
are,
But now
talking
they
to you
have
while you're on your iPhone.
correct. And now they have an AI component that you can just use if you don't want to contact a live person.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
I think AI is getting to be a much bigger thing for the blind, right?
Yeah.
I know that Lindsay Levere has talked about that on some of the Clear Lake meetings, using AI, the AI functionality on some things. And also, I just thought of this the other day on National Public Radio, or National Public as it's called now. They had a whole session about technology for the blind.
Oh, cool.
And they were talking about different, just like what we talk about a lot, different issues and different types of technology that are out now. And what I told myself was I was going to look that up and try to find a link for it and send it out to all of you guys, so you can listen to it. So, and I think it was, I'll have to find out where it was at, what kind of it, but it's a podcast. And it would come to you as a link, and you should be able to just hit the link and listen to it. So let me put that down as an action for me.
Roger, I just want to say I have a friend who just bought a one of those battery operated Cadillacs. He paid about $120,000 for it.
Okay.
And it directs you go from building to building. So he programmed it to get to my house. Bill, let me show you how to get to my house. And so he programmed it and that type of thing. And the doggone GPS didn't work on it. I said, man, maybe this Cadillac is a recall. You need to send it back, So I had to direct him by being blind back to my house, But it took a blind person to take a man with $100,000 car to get me home.
I don't think so. I don't
I
think
find
so.
that interesting because I had to do that with my pastor. We were going to Grand Rapids and needed to find the restaurant Southern Smoke. And I just pulled out my iPhone and told it to find and give us directions, and handed it to him and said, "Here, follow him."
Right.
Pastor laughed at me. He said, "You mean your phone's going to tell me what to do like you do?"
There's a lot of things in AI that need some tweaks. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not fully functional yet, I don't think, but enough to be dangerous, I think.
Right.
Well,
I like my
quickly, I wanted to go to Rosemary and let her talk about a study that she's been doing with General Motors. So kind of related to the car thing. So Rosemary, why don't you go ahead?
I will do that. I was able to go to the GM research facility in Warren on January the 11th, fortunately between storms. And what the research project consisted of, it's kind of interesting, is they were trying to create a touchpad that a passenger could use to regulate items within the vehicle. And so, like, say, for example, you're the passenger and you want to change the heat or the air conditioner, you can do that, with a pad that would be mounted, on the passenger side, maybe out of the dash, that kind of thing. Also, you can use it to change the radio if you wanted to. Some vehicles, like some vans, have a TV component, and you'd be able to use it to do that. So it's kind of interesting because they wanted to see how I use my phone and how I use my iPads and those kinds of things. And then when I went to use their touchpad, it was kind of crazy because since I touched it, it jumped all over the place. And I told them, I said, the first thing you need to do is learn how to stabilize this thing, is because, when you're using your iPhone, your icons stay where they're supposed to be. They're not jumping all over the place. So, gave them a lot of different feedback on items and stuff. And it was very interesting. It was fun to do. And so, I'm sure that's all pointing to, at some point in time, being able to do some, driverless vehicle stuff. But of course, that's still way in the future.
Right.
One of the things that was kind of interesting about that too is that we talked about voice control and being able to, perhaps tell the car what you want to do, like, like sometimes you can do on your Lady A, say raise volume, to 2 or that kind of thing. So they were looking at that as well. So it's an interesting study, and they said they'd call me back again when they got another phase that they're going to be doing.
And they paid
I
you
was
for that,
listening
right?
on radio.
They paid you.
Yes, they did reviewed those electronic cards, like these testing units. They're finding out, like the weather we're having now, below zero, that the automatic vehicles, they lose 100% in a high percentage in power in terms of their ability to function because of the inclement weather. It brings the battery down tenfold. So, and they advise you to turn your radio and all the extra equipment off, and even the heater, and just use the heater that's on your steering wheel as opposed to get to your destination, because they're finding out, and they're doing a study in Michigan that the battery lose power when it gets below zero. So that's something that they are working on improving on.
Yeah.
This is Carrie Bradley. I seen the same thing where they said that the car that usually can go 240 miles can only do 220, and then it will drop down to 80 in 10 minutes, something like that, and then it takes over 2 hours just to charge the battery back up.
Now they're working too on not, I don't know if it's GM, but I know that there's companies out there that are working on a rechargeable battery that that'll charge up like in half an hour. They're working on some of those kinds of things. There's a lot of things that they're working on that still need to be done, perhaps what they need to do is have like a heater near the battery so the battery doesn't get so cold and drain everything out, that kind of thing. So there's different, they're still in the, experimental phase. And so these things, that's why, I'm glad to be able to give input as a blind person to, to the researchers, so that when they build these things, they have all this stuff in mind, and they, don't have to try to work it in later on, because that's much more difficult than if you can, work it in at the very beginning.
Right.
One of the things, thank you, Rosemarie and Bill, for that, because a friend of mine drives a car to deliver prescriptions, and it's an electric car, and he said the same thing last year. He goes, if you use your heater, it's like your mileage, and he drives a lot of miles too. He said the mileage just drops like
right.
And so he said it wasn't very pleasant, the real cold weather, because the car was cold. Anyway.
This is Carrie Bradley. One thing I would like to say is I am working with the University of Michigan on their with their medical students and interns, and I'm trying to educate the next era of doctors in how to deal with people with disabilities, blind, wheelchair, deaf, cognitively impaired, and so we have moved. We've had like 2 Zoom meetings about it, and we're going to have a in-person real examination in April. And if anyone has any thoughts that I can put down to give these students on do's or don'ts, I would be more than happy to take them. And I'm really enjoying working with these students, and they're really excited about handling people with disabilities at any age.
Yay.
Great. Well, that's great. That's a great thing to be involved in, Carrie. So, yeah, there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of opportunities for, like working with sighted people to like educate them as to, things.
How we want to be treated.
Yeah.
How you want to be treated, and just things that we take for granted, I mean, I've learned a lot just working with you all over the last several years, and I'm still learning, because it's so easy for us sighted people to take things for granted, things that we don't even think about, and we just kind of carry on, in our own blissful ignorance, Well, I appreciate that that you all call me out, and call us out.
Before we hang up, Roger, Daryl wants to say hello to everybody because he's been here listening, trying to get the phone. Say hello to everybody. Hey,
Hey, Dale. Looking forward to you coming, Dale.
Hi, Daryl.
I got go. Daryl.
Yeah, we're good. Looking forward to you being there, kiddo.
Okay. All right.
This is Rosemary. I just want to say one more thing really quick, guys. And I'm involved in a thing called the Descriptathon, and it's working with the National Park System on their descriptive video stuff. So it's been an interesting project to work with them. And the people who are doing this are out of the University of Hawaii.
Are you going to get a trip to Hawaii out of this?
No, I wish.
And you're going to tell them that you need some assistance, and that you're going to need some people to come with you,
Yeah, no, I wish, but no, that's not going to happen. But it's been an interesting experience so far because I get to be a judge, and my role is to look at the descriptive pieces that people submit and either fix them or encourage them or to get them to do more of this or that or the other, so that when the final piece is completed, that the description is good for people who can't see any of it. So that's kind of what my role is right now. It's kind of interesting.
Cool. That's very cool. And also I wanted to mention that and I don't recall the woman's name, but I watched the show. It was a Netflix miniseries called Only the Light That You Cannot See, and it's about a blind girl I think in France during the First World War.
Yeah, I just started reading a book about that.
Yeah, and so the lady that's the blind actor in the movie, she won an Emmy, I think, for her performance, or at least was.
Wow.
So anyway, it's if you have a chance to see it or listen to it, and I'm sure that there's Netflix probably has descriptive things going on with their shows. I don't know exactly, but
yeah, they do.
To watch, and it's
what is it called again?
I think it's called Only the Light That You Cannot See. It's kind of a weird title, but it's.
What about trying to do a descriptive video movie at camp?
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be different.
Roger, you mentioned something about the COVID. You mentioned COVID test and all of that, getting those forms in before or after. Do we just show our medical that we had all our shots? Has that been confirmed? How are we going to coordinate that? Because you said we need to show something on our application.
If you want to bring it with you, that's fine at this point. And like I say, if you haven't been vaccinated, we do need to, we would like you to have a picture of a negative COVID test, like 36 hours prior to coming to camp. So just to make sure you're not sick. And if you are sick, obviously, you have COVID, don't come, so. But yes, we are still asking people to have a medical card that shows that you've been vaccinated at some point. So
yeah, they'll give it to you. Just a copy. Yeah, they'll hand it to you. So.
Some places won't give cards anymore, so you'll have to ask for a printout from the pharmacist.
Walgreens will give you a printout, just show your ID, and they'll give you a printout.
Right, that's what I'm saying, Neil.
There's a link.
Of places will do that.
Go ahead, Shirley.
There's a link that shows all of the stuff that you've had done to you.
Yes,
on
you're right. COVID. I think Kathy, after the last meeting that I wasn't on, she found that link.
Oh.
Essentially, you can go to the link and you have to take a picture of your ID or send a picture of your ID for them to give you access, but you can get all of your records through that link. Now, I will send that I'll try to get these notes out today, and I will send that link along with it. I just hadn't had a chance to do that prior to now. So if anybody needs that, then you'll get it if you have email. So
What's
Okay,
the latest
Roger.
you can say at the camp? I mean, I leave at 12 or 1 o'clock my ride. How late does the camp stay open in terms of my return?
I'm sorry. Say that again. You're coming.
We're over at the 12 or 1 o'clock. We're done with the camp on Sunday.
Right.
What's the latest? That we can stay. I got to tell my ride to come, and I think other people got to stay. How will the camp be open all the way until what, 8 o'clock Sunday night?
No, not really. If you can get a ride, we'd like everybody to leave by 8 o'clock. Noon. If you've got a ride coming to get you. Now, I think Sheila and Felicia are on the train, which doesn't leave until 7:30. So I think you're going to be coming to my house to hang out until it's time for you guys to go back on the train. So I have a dog. If you guys, hopefully.
What kind of dog do you have, Roger?
Well, he's a Staffordshire Terrier. In other words, he's
okay,
a pit.
Roger. On the
pit, but he's very friendly.
Right. On the GPS, one year I was going, the GPS took me to your house, not to the camp, the address that I had. Has that been corrected?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why the GPS would, if you put in, it could be because I put my return address on the envelopes.
Well, I'm just thinking the last time I was there, it took me to your house and it was, oh boy, yeah. But I had to find the camp after. It was down the road some. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can send you the right address to put in there. So.
All right. Well, I'll get that.
I thought you lived in Ohio, Roger.
No, I live in Battle Creek.
Oh, for some reason I always thought you lived in Ohio.
I live in Battle Creek, right down the road from the camp, actually, about 10 miles.
Yeah.
So,
How far is the camp from the train station, from Amtrak?
It is about 15 miles. But we're going to
I
wait.
told people you lived in Ohio.
Oh, well, hopefully they're not in Ohio looking for me. So.
This is Gary Brandy. So the earliest that people can leave is right after breakfast, and I'm assuming that the latest you want them to be there is like 11 a.m.
Yeah, 11 or so. 11 is fine. 11:30. We, at that point in time, we're just trying to get the camp cleaned up, and there's really not a lot going on except cleaning things up, and making sure we have everybody's stuff. So.
Okay, Roger, this is Walita. I'm getting ready to sign off. I just want you to know that my application is on the way. It had a late takeoff. I had to do a little soul searching to talk with my pastor about this one. So, but I will be there. So I just want you to know.
Okay. Well,
I'm looking forward to it.
Sure. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you sent me a message the other day. I couldn't get back with you, but yes, it is on the way. You should receive it this week.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right. I'll see you guys. Gina?
Yeah.
I don't know if she's still, well, she got to be there because I'm here.
Yeah, Gina's on.
Oh, okay. Well, I will see you at Winter Camp.
Okay. Look forward to seeing you there.
Bye-bye, y'all. Bye-bye.
Nobody else has anything. We'll go ahead and sign off, but really appreciate everybody calling.
Roger, I have a question.
Sure, Renee.
So we're only allowed to bring 2 bags. And can I bring my purse in addition to that, or no?
Oh yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. We're not Spirit Airlines.
Okay, the difference is I will have 2 bags, but I will have another bag that will have the Valentine's Day stuff in it. So that's not really considered a bag. He's talking about actually personal items, and your purse is just something you carry around with you all the time. So
yeah, that doesn't count as a bag. So yeah, I think it's just a matter that we don't have a whole lot of space, So, we're really only there. We're there 2 nights, so it depends on what you want to bring, Renee. So I will tell you that Michelle McBride is going to be there with snacks. This year.
She's coming. Okay.
So she'll have.
Isn't she the chip lady, right?
What's that?
She's a chip lady, right?
Yeah.
Fritos, Tito's, Doritos.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she's so Pam Prindle is her caregiver, and she'll be bringing her. So they'll have extra things, but they'll probably be in her car. So
Yeah.
you know, anyway,
Yeah, the snack lady.
the snack lady. So oh, by the way, so we're going to be providing. We'll have some soft drinks there, and like the last time, I think we had a lot
No
of
diet, 'cause nobody wanted them.
no,
I
nobody had
did.
diet.
Yeah.
We'll have some
did
diet.
too.
Shirley, what do you like? You
I'll
like
bring my own, but I got diet. I like diet, but I'll
Diet.
bring my own.
dark
Yeah,
or
we'll just
dark
bring
or
our
clear?
own with us. So we're
Dark or
good.
clear? Anyway, and somebody liked tea. Somebody wanted tea. So we had some tea, but so we'll bring a selection.
My favorite is the throwback Pepsi.
The throwback Pepsi. What the heck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Renee.
It's real
It's
sugar.
Pepsi,
It's like
period.
the original sugar.
Oh, okay. Like original Pepsi, right? With sugar, not sweeteners or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Not like Pepsi.
All the
Blue.
calories. Okay.
Yeah.
All the calories.
All the calories.
All of them.
Now, if
A
you're
little extra
diabetic,
calories
you're-
if you can get it in the bottle or
now,
can.
if you're diabetic, you know, you're breaking the
Hey,
rules. But,
Roger, I
Like
do
when
have a
you buy
question.
a case of Pepsi, it'll say on the case, it'll say real sugar.
okay.
Say
Okay.
again.
I do
it
have-
will say that.
I do have a question.
Go ahead, Shirley.
On your sweeteners, do you have Splenda? If not, I have some.
Oh, at the camp?
Yeah,
I'll check.
because I couldn't. I thought that you only had the other ones, the equal and the other.
Sweet
The
and
sweet
low.
and low. The sweet and
Yeah.
low. I think
Can't-
I seen Splendor last year, if I'm not
Man,
mistaken. I did see Splendor.
I was gonna say, if not, I have some. I can bring my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Splenda. I'll check. All right. Any other supplies anybody needs? So if you happen to have, and I'll send this out, if you happen to have any COVID tests sitting around that you're not using, why don't you bring them? Last year we asked everybody to bring a COVID test.
A lot of them.
We ended up with a bunch of them. We ended up with a bunch of them that ended up being out of date.
Right. Gotta check the date.
But
Gotta
if we,
check the date.
but if we,
Yeah, I don't have
if
any.
we need some, if somebody is starting to feel kind of yucky and we need to test,
I'll check. I don't think we have any.
so if you
I
have,
have some.
throw it in your
I have
suitcase.
some.
Check the date.
It's
Right.
it's up to date because I got it from the doctor's office.
Okay. Well, throw it in your suitcase. You may not need it, but throw it
Okay,
in, and
no problem.
I'll put that in the notes as well. So, but
I'll put in a couple extra packs of masks because I do have a bunch of extra masks. So just in case somebody is feeling yucky, they can get a
Right.
mask.
right, yeah, we're not mandating masks this year. They're optional, but there's a lot of more people wearing masks these days, I think, just because they don't want to get
Right.
whatever.
It's still out
RSV.
here.
I tell you what, RSV is not something that you want.
No, it's not.
And
So
obviously COVID, it's probably worse than COVID really in terms of the effect it has on you now, but you don't want COVID either. So but yeah, I got an RSV shot, I got a flu shot, and I got a COVID shot all at once.
Yep, I did the same